Thank you all for joining today. It takes immense grit, courage, enthusiasm, blood, sweat, tears to endure what Junaid is going through right now. I can feel it because I'm been through that. I have done it myself many times, and I cannot even describe what he is going through. So we are all gathered here today um, to celebrate our hero, Junaid.
Thank you so much.
Junaid Mohammed.
Thanks a
Welcome.
lot.
Who has traveled far across all continents, 7,000 plus miles, all the way, in his mind thinking about running, but also thinking about the holy month of Ramadan and fasting and limited dietary restrictions that he has gone through. I have no words to express, but I'm going to try to express how immensely grateful we are for you
Thank you so much.
to be doing this for us, all the way from Karachi, training and coming here to run the Boston Marathon and raising funds for South Asian Circle of Hopkinton. It just makes it a full circle for us. We're all about connecting our cultures across borders, and this is reality. We've been talking about this all this time we are here, and now when we see this happen, we can relate to it.
Yeah.
It's a practical thing. This is what we are doing. We are bringing our countries together. We are bringing our cultures together. More importantly, we are creating inspiring people by looking at what you're doing. And it's my pleasure, my honor, my gratitude here to be speaking to you. So welcome
Thank you.
again.
Thanks
And
a
thank
lot.
you all for coming on a hot, surprisingly hot spring day
that's true.
today. Taking time off your busy schedules. It's a Thursday. It's Ramadan for many of you who are fasting today. So it is hard. It's a work day. So I really appreciate all of your time. Thank you, Mary, for covering us again. And thank you, HCAM, for being here for us, for your support. So now we want to hear in your own words your story, if you can inspire us even more.
Thank you so much. Well, Ruta, thanks a lot. I'm so happy today to be here in Hopkinton. I mean, this is something so different than what I imagined. This is one of the most beautiful towns I've seen when we were coming down, and one of my best friends' sister is here. She's like a family friend. She's an elder sister, Rabel. She drove us here with two of our kids. And I kept saying like, wow, this is so beautiful. Are we going to a resort or something? This is probably not leading up to a library. But we checked the map twice, and yes, we were coming to the right direction. So I'm very happy, and obviously, to begin with, I cannot forget Shahid Ahmed Khan, who's a famous Bostonian, lives in Framingham now. He's so well connected with the South Asian community in Massachusetts. Irfan Nasrullah, who I have just met today. Basically,
Wow.
the miracle is this, that all of the SACH members and Irfan and his wife, we just met today. We never met before
Power
that.
of technology.
But
we felt we met.
we have achieved so much without even meeting in the last
Absolutely.
3-4 months, that this is obviously an achievement on its own. So I am grateful to these people for connecting us, for bringing everything together. But the things you said, most of them are right, but you forgot to add salt. It takes a lot of salt as well for a runner. Trust me, it's not about blood. It's the salt which goes out of your body, and then it takes so much time to recover from it. But what I have realized in last 3 or 4 months since we started working, and then we knew that we're coming so close to to achieve this through this partnership, to be able to run Boston Marathon, to be able to raise this fund for South Asian Circle of Hopkinton, which is doing an amazing job for the community. This is something which has matchless energy, and I always say that running is the most liberating sports in the world. The kind of things you achieve in the process to run a marathon, and you know, like there are 35,000 people running a marathon, just like Boston Marathon. And there might be like top 6 people getting all the positions. But like every person crossing that finish line is an achiever. And the kind of feeling he or she gets, this is something sometimes very difficult to even explain.
Indescribable.
Yeah.
I can understand.
So you achieve that, and it's your own personal achievement, and you hold that medal. That is something so different from everything else in this world. And I also say, like, running is the most exclusive sport in the world in a way why it's unique. There is no other sport in which members of public can go and run on the same track where the best of the best athletes running on the road.
True.
Like, not possible in the football, not possible in rugby, not possible in cricket, not possible in swimming. You gotta be an Olympian, you gotta be a registered, authorized athlete. But this is the marathon where the members of public just come together and they run amazing runs. They achieve sometimes something which even their families can't believe. And sometimes they even did not know that this is what they were going to achieve. So this is huge, and I'm grateful not only that this is my honor, my pleasure to be able to do something through a marathon, which is as the US ambassador to Pakistan, Donald Bloom, said to me in one of the meetings we had, that it's a granddaddy, is the grandmother of all marathons.
It is.
And the moment he saw me and I said, like, Boston Marathon I'm running, he said, like, Heartbreak Hill. Be careful on that. And I said, did you ever run a marathon? He said, my dear, no one has to run that marathon in order to know about that. This is a phenomenon. And as Mary rightly put in that, I think this is how I was feeling when she asked me that, let's hope, because I have not experienced this, I have not been on that route. So let's hope if that Heartbreak Hill breaks hearts, it doesn't break mine.
You're a heartbreaker on that Heartbreak Hill. You will be fine.
Well, we're hoping that we'll be doing fine there. But this is the process, and we've come here, and we are in Massachusetts, which is one of my favorite US states, and I love every aspect of the state, every city. But it looks like, it feels like a dream to be in Hopkinton and seeing you people, knowing all of your work from the last several months. This is one of the best days of my life before, even the 17th April comes. So I feel great, and I feel honored.
You look great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Incredible. After all,
Absolutely.
traveling all the way.
Well, this was long, but thanks to the really great pilots of Qatar Airways. They don't let you feel that this is an unending flight. 14 and a half hours, when they will finish, no one knows.
Yeah, so I want to understand a little more about you. Like, I want to understand, what was your personal spark? What inspired you to start? Were you always a runner? Like,
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, I was always active in sports. In school and in college, I played cricket, I played badminton, I did the swimming games, and also was involved in football at some level.
okay.
But cricket was the main thing.
Yeah.
I come from Pakistan, and Pakistanis, like, they probably can skip meals. They can probably be sleepless or maybe something more, but they cannot skip cricket.
Okay.
And they're crazy, and they are just mad about it. So the biggest sport in our country is cricket, and that's why a lot of other sports in which a lot of people did achieve a lot. Jahangir Khan, who still holds the biggest record of squash, he won more than 500 matches non-stop in a row without a break. And that record has not been broken anywhere in the world, not in the US, not in the Europe, not in India. But that thing is still not so much big for our people, because cricket is something which is a bond which keeps people connected. And obviously it's there in India, it's there in Bangladesh, it's in the whole South Asia.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes. I mean, we have so many amazing Pakistani cricketers, but every one of them is crazy about Virat Kohli, the Indian cricketer, Indian batsman. We are mad about him. We are inspired. We just follow him. We're crazy about him.
Yeah.
So that's the power of the cricket.
Yeah.
So in that, when anyone else gets involved in another sport, which is any Olympic sport,
Right.
you don't get that much kind of feedback because
Right.
people are not trained or brought up in that way.
Yeah.
So running is also like some people will take a lot of time to understand that.
Right.
So I come from a society in which when you tell people that you're running, so they will start like, why are you running?
Yeah.
Oh, so who are you running from? Who are you running after?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna get? Like how many thousands of miles you gonna run? Eventually you have to get back home.
Right.
And this is something sometimes is joke, but sometimes it's the real culture. That's how people treat it, and they don't take it seriously.
Right.
So I can carefully say, like, if I have, for example, let's say 100 friends back in Pakistan, 75 of them would not know 3 years ago that what does a marathon mean,
Yeah.
or what does a 42.20 kilometer distance mean.
Right.
They would support you, they would really be excited for you, but like 42 kilometers?
Right. Yeah.
One of my friends on the Facebook 3 years ago when I ran first marathon, he said like, how is this even possible? This is not possible.
Yeah,
This must be fake.
It's a lot.
And I said like, come with me and we'll get you run. And then they count the distance like, okay, so we go in a car until this distance, and this will take us like more than 2 hours.
Right.
Or maybe more than 1.5 hours in the car.
Yeah.
How did you just even do it?
Yeah. It's
By running.
unimaginable. Yeah.
So I can say like in 3 years back home, my running club and my friends, we have changed at least that culture. People now know what marathon distance is, what is half marathon, what is 42 kilometers, what is a global major marathon. So you never know how many people you are inspiring by your running actually. So they don't come up to you and they don't share. And in the last 1 year, so many women in our circle, my friends or my friends' sisters or their wives or their moms, when they got a chance to chat, and they said, you and your friends are the reason we bought joggers. I said, really, what? And they said, yeah, because we were watching you running and because we were so inspired.
Yeah.
So we've gotten the running shoes, we started going to the walk, and you have changed so much in our lives, and we were just really shocked.
Wow.
So obviously, I think in last 3 years, probably more than 25 people just from Karachi went to run Berlin Marathon, London Marathon, and Chicago Marathon. So that has changed, and it has gone a long way. So my journey is with my friends and family, and I'm forever grateful for them for supporting this. Why I wanted to be more involved in the sport, because Pakistan and South Asian region is one of those countries which is struggling with a lot of, disease seasons, heart disease, diabetes, blood pressure, so many other things. And the top reason is like people are not involved in sport as much as they should be. They use cars, they're lazy, they're not involved in sports. So I want to change this for my family, for my friends, for society. My father, more than 10 years ago, he passed away because of a heart disease, and that was also the culture in his family, that they were not involved in a sport and not in any exercise, and there were no awareness about the principal basic actions about taking care of your health. So why I'm changing this, why I started running seriously, why I decided that I will run marathons, why I decided last year that I will run world major marathons, all 6 of them. And this is starting with the Boston Marathon, because I want to tell all of my friends and family, all the people who follow my work, that this is something you got to do it. It's not for anyone else. It's for you, for your family, for your future, for your well-being. So that's the message, and that's how I decided. That's how I spoke to Shahid Ahmed Khan. And he, Irfan, and all of you have made one thing very obvious, that United States is still the land of opportunities.
Oh, wow.
And it has been proved through this partnership, because probably a year ago when I spoke to Shahid Ahmed Khan, he did not know, Irfan Saab, I did not know that this will happen. I did not know him, he did not know me. Nobody knew this will happen, but it just happened. So this is America, and obviously this is the diversity, and this is the, the passion of the community here, that when they go after something, they take it as a mission and they make it happen. And obviously, this is the true example of this whole process.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know how to follow up with that, with another question, but I am going to. But what I want to say is your enthusiasm, Junaid, like, it's just making it possible Give yourself some credit. Like, you're so
Oh,
into
God,
it.
I gotta
so
run,
it's
so-
everybody else, but it's you, and you're inspiring
Thank
us
you
to
so
do
much.
a little bit. You're doing all the work. We are just pushing a little bit.
Thanks a lot.
But I also want to know, through this journey, I don't know, how many months are you training now?
Well, I would say 4 months. December 1st was when the training started.
Typically, yeah.
And obviously followed up January, February, March. And March end was when Ramadan started.
Yeah, that's what my question is actually.
Very good question.
Like I would assume that's the biggest obstacle for you. I want to say it is.
Well, I would be,
And
I
wanna
would
know-
be lucky in that way because most of the training we already got in.
And he's fasting, by the way, today.
Thank
3
you.
days before the marathon.
Thank you. Yeah, that's just before the last few days.
How do you do it?
Well, you have to sacrifice, but it's kind of more of a cultural thing, not entirely religious for everyone.
Yeah.
I am fasting since the age of 7,
Okay.
and never have I ever skipped fasting all this life, and it has come naturally. So I was on an assignment in the UK for my organization Geo News in 2017. We were covering the general elections, and we were traveling across the UK from England to Scotland and Wales and several other cities. We were interviewing people, and the fasting was pretty long, like more than 17, 18 hours. And that was
Wow.
one experience when through the very rigorous routine work I experienced fasting, but I did fasting throughout the month. And I learned that this is possible, this is something you can achieve. But for a sports person, for an Olympian, for an
the
athlete,
salt, yeah.
it's very different.
Right.
So yes, you probably can fast,
You're
but
showing it. But how
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing?
it's not something any coach or any therapist or any physio expert would recommend,
Of course.
because when you open your fast
Yeah.
and from that time until you do the food again and close
Right.
your fast,
Right.
the time window is very short, so you can't get the whole water you need, you can't get the whole food you need. So that is kind of a sacrifice for this reason that you want to fast. It's part of your religion, it's part of your society, it's part of your culture, it's based on respect, it's based on like what community does throughout the Ramadan. And a lot of people do it for Ruh Afza as well, because whole year long there is no Ruh Afza on the table, but Ramadan suddenly every table has Ruh Afza. So that's one attraction too for a lot of kids in Pakistan. We were growing up and we were so crazy about this red drink we drink actually.
We were too. I mean,
Absolutely.
Growing
So
up.
yeah, I think for marathon, when you're training for a big tournament and sport, it is difficult. It's not impossible,
Yeah.
but it's not mandatory. Obviously, you have permission to skip it if you're doing something which requires training, which requires a lot more involvement with the food and nutrition.
Yeah.
You are allowed to skip fasting, but we wanted to do it, and obviously back home with the family, friends, and cousin, we all were fasting. So that's something we've been doing for so many years, and I wanted to take it on. And I have been fasting since I landed in the United States on 9th April. But close to the marathon, that's different because you can start the marathon by keeping the fast, but once you finish the marathon, you need a lot of hydration and electrolytes. So I think that will just clash with the purpose of fasting. So I think a lot of people on the day of marathon will not be fasting. This is a very clear message.
Yeah.
But before that, most of them I know several dozens of runners in the UK who've been fasting, and they ran even more than half marathons several times.
Wow.
During a week when they were fasting. Fasting means like literally you can't eat anything, so it's like total lock. So it's been exciting, it's been fun, and I have got a lot of respect, a lot of support.
I think
lot
you
of
deserve an
encouragement.
applause for
No,
this.
thank you so much. Thanks so much.
And I'm going to go out. I'm also going to go out on a limb and say Heartbreak Hill should watch out for you. Because it's crazy what you're doing.
Well,
right now,
as
if
Mary
I must
would
say.
know, Heartbreak Hill must having already a run of life because Eliud Kipchoge is coming.
Yeah.
All the way from Kenya. He is the greatest
Absolutely.
runner in the history of mankind, and we all are looking forward to him. But of course, that inspires us to do so much better for ourselves as well. That's the goal.
You're
Absolutely.
amazing. So I also want to know a little bit more since I
Sure.
have the
Of course.
opportunity. I want to understand, like, I know people have goals for running. Different people have different. I had my own reasons why I wanted to do it. But I want to know, like, has running taught you more about yourself as a person? Because you have the time with nobody. Um,
Yeah, I think
Has
it's a self discovery in a way. I have thought about the best ideas
Yeah.
I've done in the last 3 years.
yeah.
Whether it's about my family, whether it's about my work, whether it's about a new presentation in the office, whether it's about a new idea of helping some people
Mm.
who would be in a desperate need to help.
Mm.
All the ideas came to my mind while I was running. That is a process of self-discovery. The moment you get, when you're training, you're just on your own and you're running, everything in your mind is just between you and your
Yourself.
ideas.
It's here, up here. in
And
the
this is
brain.
one thing I learned. Second, it makes you humble because you know
Mhm.
it's a hard thing. And some of our friends say, run is only fun once it's done.
Yeah, yes.
So I'm so happy to see Shahid Ahmed Khan.
Oh,
He's
welcome.
here. He's our friend. He's my elder. He's like a mentor, and I'm so happy that he has reached here. So that second thing is there that it does make you really humble
Yeah.
because it's not easy, and when you're running, you're struggling, and it's kind of a competition of you versus you
Yeah.
because you're trying to achieve something, but it's your body which is
Saying
in some
something
ways
else.
not letting you achieve
Right,
that
right.
because your leg is hurting, your shoulder is hurting, or maybe something on your back is hurting, or you're getting out of your breathe, or your heart is pumping really fast. That's your own body.
Yeah.
So then you realize, oh wow, like what did I do with my body?
Yeah. Why am I doing?
Is this like what I've been eating, what I've been drinking
Yeah.
for the last 3 years? Oh my god, this is a
Yeah.
disaster. Like, and when you see sometime, like a lot of other runners
Yeah.
running, they're passing by you. So it's a self-discovery.
Yes.
You don't have to be a fast runner in order to be a runner,
I know that.
but you have to be a healthy runner.
Yeah.
If you are killing yourself out there, if you feel miserable, if you do not feel comfortable, if you do not enjoy any aspect of your running,
Yeah.
then obviously we're making some mistake.
Right.
And I was making mistakes 3 years ago.
Yeah.
For your interest and to level of shock, like I was running Istanbul Marathon in 2021.
Uh-huh.
And because of work and because of extreme humidity back in Karachi, I was dehydrated.
Okay.
And I did have a big muscle spasm right before Istanbul Marathon.
Oh.
And that was the biggest self-discovery that running, swimming, cycling is so all exciting, but it does not come without taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's for all of us, that's for our kids, that's for our future, that's for our coming generations. That we are not supposed to only push them to be involved in a sport, in any sports, but to give them the right direction
Yeah,
and
the training.
give them the right environment as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So I did have to get a treatment through a physiotherapy, and it took a long time, but it made me realize that running is amazing, but it requires a lot of sensible work as well.
Yeah.
Right training, right food, right nutrition, right sleep. So one thing also I've learned in this process is like if you did not get enough sleep
Yeah.
and you're gonna go on your run, you're gonna get yourself screwed.
Yes.
So this is the whole process of learning,
Yeah.
and this is what I've achieved through my marathons, which I ran in Karachi and Istanbul, and now I'm gearing up for the Boston Marathon. That you learn every day. There is no stopping of learning in the whole process of life. This is my biggest lesson from running, and every day I learn something new. Every day I learn something about body, about physics of body, about nutrition, about rest, sleep, recovery.
Yeah.
That is so amazing, and I think they've done so much work on the footballers, showing about Messi and Ronaldo, how they recover from a very wild football match. And football match is so much more dangerous than running a marathon.
Yeah.
You can literally die just in a blink of an
Yeah.
eye because the blood is rushing so fast and the players
Intense.
are just speeding like a bullet. When it touches the other body, it can just rip apart any of the muscles. So
Yeah.
their recovery is so much more insane than of a runner.
Yeah.
They send into minus 28 rooms. They are given extreme therapies. So I think I have taken a lot of learning from that. That in order to be a good runner, you have to recover good as well. So I think this is what I'm learning more while I'm here in the United States from all the people around me.
Amazing. Yeah, you made me relate to many things along the way.
You
About
ran one marathon too, yes.
Well, yeah, many, but this
Many.
one, but the thing is, I'm not a fast runner, and it's not about me. But I did relate to a lot of things when you said you can't just get up and start running. You need the training, you need the education. But I also want to know, and maybe this is a repeat, but I do want to know when you're running and you hit a snag. Right, your mind is speaking something else, your body is speaking something else.
Yeah.
There are people overtaking you on the course, whatever. You have a goal, you're not meeting it, you're running behind. You hit a snag. How do you have anything you do, some trick to pick yourself back up?
Oh,
and
wish
go?
sorry, I can't spill the secret out.
Well, okay, give us a hint. How do you?
That is just saved for the Boston Marathon. You know, people are just calling me from all over the world and asking about that secret, ready to pay thousands of dollars. So that's not coming out that easily.
Okay, all right. I tried, but no.
No, I'm
what
just
inspires you?
just
Or
joking.
Yeah.
What I do, I've been through that moments.
Yeah.
What I think at that moment, Ruta and everyone, is marathon would not be a marathon if it was just about top 3 medalists and men and women, like 6 people.
No, yeah.
Because then these 6 people could run in their own city or anytime they wanted.
Yeah.
The marathon is about everyone who's running in this marathon.
Yeah.
It's 35,000 people in Boston Marathon, it's 50,000 people in New York Marathon, it's probably 40,000 people in London Marathon, similar numbers in Berlin, many more people in Tokyo. Marathon is made of all of us.
Yes.
And I am part of that.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact
It's
if I run slow, if I hit a snag, or if I'm getting tired, or if I have an injury or something, I am still part of that marathon.
Yeah.
So what I think and tell myself that maybe take a while, maybe take a moment,
Yeah.
but this is something you decided to finish and you wanted to do it. So maybe give it your best. If you'll be able to do it, that's amazing. If you'll not be able to do it, you will learn so much out of that situation and your mistake that you will be able to do so much better next time. There is no loss in sports.
Yeah.
There is no loss in sports.
Brilliant.
Everyone is a victorious, everyone has achieved something. That team who is a runner-up has also come through the whole process to reach that final, and they lost to the best team, but they still played that same match with that best team which won the World Cup or won the championship. So every runner, or maybe even more the other runners, have gone through more, as you said, sweat and blood and everything. Maybe Kipchoge is going to finish the marathon in 2 hours. It's people like you and me going to get ruined in that marathon for 3 to 4 hours or 5 hours. So many of us actually get to do a lot more hard work than many other amazing runners. And that's the key which keeps us going.
Yes.
And that's what I always tell myself. And that is again the thing I'm going to tell myself, that it's okay and we can do it. If we can't do it, there's something better than that coming for us.
Very well said. And we are going to be there for you.
Absolutely.
Right when you start here in our town.
Yeah.
All the way to the finish, through all the 7 towns that you'll be passing, the wonderful scenery will be there cheering you. Every footstep you take will be there with you.
It's a dream.
One more, and we'll open it up for the audience.
Absolutely.
But of course, this is a given. You're running for South Asian Circle of Hopkinton. In your own words, can you say what it means to you when you're running for an organization?
Well, I think what it means is like nothing could be better than representing a circle which consists of the people who have the background of the similar countries. South Asia is one very, very dynamic region of the world. It has done so much for this world and constantly doing. And the idea of bringing more and more people to such competitions and platforms is something we've not been able to achieve
Yeah.
from
There are
a
only
very
two
long time.
runners, by the way, from
Yeah.
Pakistan who are running.
Yeah,
These
and
two.
then obviously it's different for the people who already are living in the US, who are
Correct.
US citizen naturalized as well. Amazing, amazing athletes and runners.
Right.
But obviously it changes the whole accessibility purpose and the process. Because coming from Pakistan, like a lot of people might need visa, that takes time, a lot of
Yes.
logistics, financials involved. I think why I am so happy and proud to do this with all the help we've gotten to do this is something that we're gonna change forever. This is gonna
This is history, actually.
This is gonna open the gate
I feel it. It's goosebumps.
for this city, for this marathon,
Yeah.
for more and more people from South Asia. It can be from India, it can be from Pakistan, it can be from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Maldives, Bhutan, Afghanistan. Maybe from any of these countries, people will be able to come to run this marathon and set new records of representation and popularity. This is something we're achieving, and I think this is something also big example of the diversity in the United States.
Yeah.
That so many cultures come along here in this country. They live as one. They support each other as one. And I think this is another milestone. And I am so happy to be part of that process.
Thank you for
And
making
that
us
achievement.
a part as well.
Thank you so much. It's a huge honor.
You know,
Thanks a lot.
so we're going to conclude, but I do want to open it up for you all who have come all the way to support him. If you have anything on your mind, ask away. He'll shy, but we'll not let him
I
go.
would love to.
So just opening it up, yes, for questions.
So you describe this as the granddaddy of them all. Isn't it all going to be a downhill venture of running marathons?
Well, yeah, that's written in the books. So I think it's one way of honoring this marathon. But what I would say, I would use the word of historic and prestigious, and
Elite
obviously
all that,
the oldest,
Oldest,
which is the thing which has set the culture of running all over the world.
Yes.
So that's one big thing dedicated to Boston. And I think, I have got some interesting things to tell to all of you, to Shahid Saab and Irfan Saab. I was telling my friends today, back in Pakistan, that listen, this is the Kaaba of marathon running. This whole state is the Kaaba of marathon running. So you planning a pilgrimage or Umrah of running, come here. Otherwise, you're gonna die without an achievement. And they said, like, why? I said, because this state and the cities of this state, it involves every city. It involves Framingham, it involves Hopkinton,
Natick, Wellesley.
Lexington, Wellesley, Boston.
Ashley.
Every runner says hello and smile to another runner. Every car stops 10 meters before a runner is coming. That has not happened anywhere in the world. I've been to UK, I've been to Europe. No, they don't do that. And I said, this is the biggest runner code, Massachusetts. That so much respect you get out there on the road when you're running. Everyone looking out for you. Every runner I met in one of the runs I did just today, everyone smiled at me, everyone said hi, every car stopped, gave me the way, and I was just like, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't handle that.
Thanks for bringing that. I took it for granted, but it's
Well,
not true, right?
Oh
I've
my
never
God.
run anywhere
I was
else.
literally about to do these to the stars. Thank you very much that you stopped for me. But that was phenomenal, and I think this is.
It is in the spirit. In marathon
This
Monday,
tells a lot about why the
People
greatest
come-
marathon happens in this state.
people come out. Like you'll see. I don't want to spoil anything, but anybody else wanna?
Yes, first of all, welcome to Hopkinton. We're so thrilled you're here. I'll speak up. I'm curious, from Mary's article, it was saying that you're a journalist. So I'm also wondering how being a journalist changes either how you approach running or if running has helped you with your journalism.
Well,
Oh, nice
that's a great
question.
question. So yeah, one of the catch is this, like I am the first journalist ever from Pakistan to run Boston Marathon. There is probably in Pakistan's industry one or two women journalists who did run a New York Marathon. There is a girl back in Karachi who worked for a big newspaper. She did run a New York Marathon in the memory of her father a few years ago. But no other journalist from Pakistan has ever run other 5 major marathons, which includes Tokyo, Boston, Chicago, London, and Berlin. So I am the first Pakistani journalist to run Boston Marathon. Your question is very interesting. I think me and several of my friends have gotten so much help from working out, from exercising, from swimming, and from running and cycling in order to, just be so much better at our temperament, at our ability and our energy levels to work out through very tense environment of a newsroom. Because I work for Pakistan's largest television network of television, newspapers, and digital media. That's Geo Television Network. It has a huge presence in the United States as well. It's broadcasted in more than more than 100 countries all over the world, wherever the South Asian community is living, Pakistani, Indians especially. And in the UK and the Europe, it is one of the best and remained number 1 South Asian network for more than 5 years.
Wow.
It was equally watched by Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi community because they could relate to the South Asian events. So I come from that media industry, and that is very, very stressful, very, very tense. And some of the people here, Shahid Ahmed Khan has a very fair idea about Pakistan's media perspective. So that can put you in a very, very stressful moment in your life, especially the non-stop load of the news. Sometimes you're working overnight, sometimes you get only sleep for 4 hours, and that happens with me most of the time. Mary is a journalist here. Journalist job is like, it doesn't apply with the corporate rules, or it's a Saturday or Sunday, it's a holiday. God forbid if there is an incident, a crime scene or an unfortunate incident, like journalists gotta report it. Newspapers are not closed ever. So that takes a lot of toll. And I would say yes to your question that running and training and working out to train to run has helped us do a lot better at work. Our agility, our stamina, and our ability to handle stress has gotten so much better. I think I don't get angry anymore. That is one takeout with me and with so many of my friends who are involved in the sports.
Wow.
We are quite cool in handling any kind of situation. So that's a good takeaway. Maybe a lot of men and husbands out there in the world should be enrolled in a marathon program for.
We'll have a sign-up sheet at the end of
Absolutely.
the session.
Absolutely, that can change so many lives. I know about that. So that's one thing, yeah. Very good, absolutely. It does change
Thank
your
you
life.
for
in
the
so many
questions.
ways.
It's been fantastic getting to learn, more about you, Junaid. This is, and again, through the last few months, I think it feels also good to be in the presence of a celebrity, given, all your accomplishments and all the different areas that you touched upon. We did stalk your Instagram account, so you're quite happening right there. And also, I think it's more so being in the presence of a great human being, right? So that's awesome. I think the question I have for you is, what's the level of discipline? What's really what are some of the must-dos in a Junaid's day? That you have to, even outside of your marathon responsibilities, you have the journalism, you're doing a lot for women and children, you're an advocate for women and children rights. So how, with all this multifaceted kind of lifestyle, what's some of the must-dos on a day in, day out basis?
The biggest takeout was in my entire family and relatives, all the cold drinks and sugary drinks were gone when I started running. That was the immediate Doppler effect. And
But you.
because that's
can.
more of a joke, but
Yeah.
no. Yes, it requires a lot of discipline, Aditya. And in order to achieve a certain level of health which will enable you to run and excel because you want to improve.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to improve because when you start running, it gets exciting after a while, and you want to do better than before.
Yeah.
So in order to achieve that, yes, there are some regimental changes everyone has to make in their lives. It's not about quitting, but what you have to change is about, yes, sugar intake change. You are not supposed to be a sugar junkie. You're not supposed to be, crazy about fizzy drinks, cold drinks. And I think when I changed that routine about healthy eating, which is more about balanced diet, protein, carbs, all sort of vitamins, white vegetables, lentils, fruits, it had an immediate effect around the whole family and friends. So this is like something you unknowingly inspiring other people. And when they come like, okay, so I can't have Diet Coke, I can't have that Coke, I can't have that sugary drink. I said like, no, you just not entirely not can't have, but you can't just be really careless with your lifestyle. So me as a runner, what I have changed and what I have achieved has actually helped a lot in telling my friends, family, my siblings that what is healthy and what is unhealthy for them. And they can choose to be a little careless on a Sunday, or at a wedding, or at a big dinner where they have a lot more desserts or some cold drinks or some other sugary stuff, but it cannot be their everyday life. And I'm a big fan of Jamie Oliver, who actually convinced McDonald's to stop using certain trends, treating meat because it was unhealthy for kids. He has run the best campaigns against the fizzy and sugary drinks for the children, because that is changing the whole scene,
mindset,
about the productivity and their sickness and their health. So running is about, setting some standards of health. Obviously, Ronaldo has set the standard that he removed the bottle of Coke from the front of the table because they don't drink that.
Yeah.
And they don't want to tell other people that they're an amazing super sports person and they drink Coke. So what I tell about myself, when I consume fizzy drinks, I get a lot of chest congestion, and that keeps me really uncomfortable for next few days. So what I can do is, like, if there is a wedding, if there is a big event, maybe I can enjoy it, but that cannot be everyday part of my life. So discipline in terms of food, in terms of sleep, and in terms of telling yourself that something you got to do, otherwise you're not going to achieve that. So you've got to go to sleep, you've got to get a nice sleep in order to be able to get up to go for that morning run. If you're watching Netflix, Amazon, or Hulu, or an HBO until 3 a.m., lying on the couch, which is very famous in the US culture because people drink a lot of beer here and they are just, sliding on the sofa. No, I don't think so. Then marathon is probably going far, far, far away from you. So that changes for anyone who wants to do that. But in a very, very healthy way, not in a negative way. That's what I have learned. I do not smoke and I do not consume a lot of fizzy drinks, but I am a big dessert fan. I love meat, I love chocolates, and Shahid Saab knows what kind of sweet things back in Pakistan we love. But yes, sometimes you have to be slow on that and be careful on that, because eventually otherwise it will get you, it can compromise your health. That's one thing. So sports is about a healthy lifestyle and a very disciplined and careful lifestyle, but not like a policing or something. It's fine to have a chocolate once in a week, that's fine. Just make sure you brush 3 times a day, which Pakistanis don't. Maybe once. That too is rare. But yeah, it's a part of a process.
Wow.
I'm sure Smitha has something on her mind to ask us. It can't be possible that she
has.
would not ask.
Something's brewing.
I just have no words. I'm just awed by everything you guys are saying.
Thank you so much. But it is something we have not answered yet.
She had
We
one
would like
question.
to be questioned by you.
She did have one question which I was supposed to ask, and I thought she will. But we all wanted to know about
She and I have been on the most communication.
I know, so I'll let her ask
So
that
I
question.
trust her.
Yeah.
I see a friend in her. She will not stump me out.
Yeah, no,
with
she
her
has a
question.
question.
Well, so I've been stalking your Instagram And
I need to go private.
This is a nice confession session. Yeah.
And I saw some real celebrities there, like Mayor of London, Malala Yousafzai. Like, how do you know all these celebrities? And you know.
Oh well, they're lucky to know about me.
Yeah. The other way around, yeah.
No, thank you for asking that. Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, we are a huge fan of his work. Not only because he has a Pakistani background or he's a Muslim. We love him as a Londoner, we love him as a British, and what he has done for London. I have never lived in London, but I have so many friends who live in London, who work there, who have families there. He is probably come across as the most hardworking politician in my last 10 years when I observed. So amazing, so hardworking, always standing up for every community, always standing up for human rights, always standing up for women rights, for children rights.
Wow.
That man, his integrity is just unbelievably amazing. How much he has done for women, for human rights, being mayor of London. So we really admire him. And I have in the past made few requests to interview him while I was in London, which could not be possible. But last year in June, we were at this event in Covent Garden, and we just got out, and Mayor of London, the great Sadiq Khan, was also coming onto that street. He was with his wife, and he was buying his coffee from a very famous coffee shop, and we were standing outside. And I think I would like to consider myself lucky that he saw me, and he thought that this guy, the way he's stalking me, either of course like he knows me, very obvious, but I think he thought he also knows me. And as soon as we got close to him, I told him who I was. I am from Pakistan, and I have a friend. His name is Adil Shahzeh. He's a very accomplished BBC, ex-BBC journalist. He works in Pakistan now, but he has done really, really amazing work through his career in BBC. He's interviewed Malala, he's interviewed Afghan president, he's interviewed several other head of the states, and he has interviewed Sadiq Khan as well. So I introduced myself and I told him who I was, and he immediately kind of said in a reflex that, yes, I think I know you, I have seen your work. And that's it. I had no other words, and then we just came out of the coffee shop and we took a photo together. And that was one really amazing moment. Whereas Malala, I know Malala and her parents before she got shot several years ago in Pakistan. So they were really involved with our television network. So Malala initially, when started writing, that was secretly for BBC. And also when she came out of her secrecy, it was Geo News and one of its program, very famous flagship program, Capital Talk, which is hosted by Hamid Mir. He was the guy who interviewed Malala for the first time, and when world saw this was that little girl known by the name of Gul Makai. That was her pen name, and she was writing these, stories and letters for BBC. No one knew who is bringing out the stories out of Swat, and without any fear of Taliban, without any fear of extremism. In that whole environment, she was giving the message out that girls want to study, girls want to go to school.
Yeah.
So from that time, we were familiar with her family, with her town, back in Swat. And then the unfortunate thing happened when she got shot, and she struggled for her life for quite a long time, and then she was transported to UK. And we couldn't believe that she made it to life, but obviously she is the strongest kid, strongest girl, strongest women, we all know. And since then we've been family friends, and I do not usually disclose that. We do not post so many pictures, but that was one picture we took a few years ago, and that was close to the Women's Day. So that's why we posted, and that book is very significant about women's rights, which Malala gifted me, and that's where I'm posing with that book with Malala. So that was really, really significant for me. And Malala is a frequent visitor of the United States. She comes to the Massachusetts as well. She was probably treated for a while in Boston as well, by some really amazing, wonderful doctors. So I think someday we will introduce her to SACH, and we might be all meeting her one day. And I'm so happy to see Hafsa Sayyed and Umair Aziz. They are like my family, they're my friends, they're my elders, and they are Bostonian, they live in Lexington, and I can't believe that they made it to this event.
Wow,
they're very, very
so
busy
much.
people. So SACH probably thankful, and I'm thankful to them that they're here.
Yeah, I thank you. I really want to go out and thank you. I mean, South Asian Circle is really looking to make these connections, and thanks to you, Junaid. Like
I'm
when you
so
just
happy.
Introducing these wonderful people who have come from Lexington. I know it is
It is
crazy at this hour. Even more appreciation there. But these are connections like we want to know you more, and we'll talk more, but just follow South Asian Circle of Hopkinton, please, and we would love to collaborate. And he's just started a spark that we want to,
Absolutely.
make
we will
into
be
a
doing
big
that.
bonfire and just have all of us together in celebrating our culture. More importantly, making that connection and making this community
Totally.
even better place to live in. So I thank you all again. There is refreshments, of course, and
Yeah, we're
thank
gonna
you.
break the
We are
fast.
going to be here. Yes, we're going to break the fast. We're going to be with you for 26.2 miles.
Absolutely. Thank you
40,
so much.
how many kilometers is that?
42.20
Just kidding.
kilometers. Oh my God, that's a lot. Even
But it's,
now,
20,
I feel
it's just
it's too much.
26.2. It's just 26.2. That's the number now.
26
You're
sounds
in,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the point 2 is fine.
Absolutely.
It's just going to work out.
Yeah, definitely.
And good
Thank
luck.
you so much.
Good.
Yeah, what are you really looking forward to for Monday? Any special
We all
targets?
Finish
or
line.
Just please, don't be surprised. Yeah.
Just waiting for the Monday. And Shahid Saab here, I really want him to make a comment. I mean,
Please,
it's a
please.
big honor he's here.
My name is Shahid Ahmad Khan. I'm a resident of Framingham, Massachusetts. I serve as an honorary consul general of Pakistan, and recently been in the process of getting appointed at President Biden's advisor on arts. So we're in the process of Yes, ambassadorial position, but hopefully it's going to happen. Vetting process is very complicated. I am so proud of this young man. I am, honestly, I am, right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and he thought he's going to run Boston Marathon. Here he is. Right? How could you?
It's happening.
I mean, right? So he has big dreams. I'm sure he's going to achieve big dreams. He works for, the best of the best media network in Pakistan. He's making headlines everywhere. So this is like a new level, right? Now he is international. He was international before, but it's a little different kind of international. So I am so proud of him and so happy to be here. And of course, we will stay in touch with you.
Yes.
And I asked Pakistan Association people and the physicians organization called APNI, so to coordinate with you for the future events and stuff like that. And they are, of course, looking forward to work
really
with you.
hope we get
This is an amazing thing. You made it happen. I mean, this is like unbelievable.
It's all
And
about
I
He's
am
the
honored to be here. I am very happy to be here.
Thank you so
And
much for your time.
anything I can do, please do let me know.
Pleasure meeting you. Very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you,
My
everyone.
pleasure.
You should get photo with everyone. Right? Thanks a lot. This is a great moment. Hello.
Here's your boy, huh?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Danielle Cook. I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the Hopkinton Public Library, and I'm here with my colleague Jack Miller, our teen librarian. We're here to invite you to join us for our reading marathon.
For our reading marathon, simply log 26 hours of reading or other activities in minute increments, and then you'll be able to join us from our trip from Hopkinton to Boston, reading the whole way. Visit our website to sign up for a registration link as well as more details.
At the Hopkinton Public Schools, safety is our first priority. Our students need to feel that they are safe before they can begin learning and growing. As part of our commitment to safety and security, people who need to conduct business at our schools should go to the main entrance, press the buzzer, and explain the purpose of your visit. Wait to be admitted and do not hold the door for those behind you. Other than the main entrance, all other entrances are locked for security.
And next member up, we have Frisbee, the green-minded frog. Tell me, Frisbee, how did you come by that moniker?
Well, Bob, what goes around comes around, especially on our beautiful #1 planet Earth. Because remember, we have no planet B.
Righto. So, Frisbee, anything you'd like to croak about tonight? Any bug in your bonnet?
As a matter of fact, there is, Bob. And the name of that bug begins with the letter L for litter. And, it's not rocket science how to fix it. You just pick it up. I'll show you. Better yet, don't throw it in the first place. Especially since most of it is that curse of the universe, plastic.
I get you, Frizz. I never commit that abomination. I always recycle.
Well, Bob, I hate to burst the bubble we've been in, but it turns out it's a myth that recycling is the cure-all. In fact, 95% of it never gets recycled.
So what's an upstanding citizen to do?
So, just don't buy it in the first place. In fact, there are plenty of alternatives out there if you only look. In fact, I, for one, use super duper compostable bamboo dental floss. I'm telling you, it gets the flies out between my teeth really neat. And just say no to those clamshell takeout containers. They're taking over the real clamshells in the ocean. And not only that, they're mucking up my home sweet swamp.
Do you have your own container?
I certainly do. Just bring your own reusable green container, or red as the case may be. It holds plenty.
Well, that's the echo view from the lily pad of Frisbee the green-minded frog. How about a game of Frisbee, Frisbee?
You're on, Bob.